So I needed to go to a Shia masjid, and I did. And part of it, actually, I remember you had said something in one of your videos about, like, I'm learning about Shia Islam soon or something like that. I'm pretty sure it was like a short.
Yeah.
Or, yeah. And I was like, yeah, you know, what better way to learn than go to the people? Like, I can listen to every person who claims Sunni tell me what it is to be a Shia, but to hear it from a Shia would be better, because I grew up in America listening to all these people talk about Muslims in general, and they don't care if we're Shia. They don't care if we're Sunni. They look at us all as one group, and you know what they say, right? So I went to a Shia mosque, and the day that I went, it was closed. And I was like, what am I going to do? How am I going to figure this out? There's like nothing. It's like the sign on it says crystal room. It's like some old ballroom. Like, there's nobody there. And on their website, they list prayer times. So I imagine that there would be someone there during, you know, specific prayer. So days later, my son and I go to another masjid that's like a little bit north of that Shia masjid. And we pray Maghrib. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to go to that other masjid. It's on the way. I'm just going to see if it's open. We went, and there was no one there. And so I ended up getting in contact with them through WhatsApp. I learned that, like, a lot of masjids, they are all connected through WhatsApp. So that's like pretty much how I talk to different people and connect with masjids in my area. And so I found one, and I found all the administrators of the group for that specific masjid, and they were like, we only meet on Thursdays and Fridays. And apparently I find that that's pretty typical in America, because the Shia population is so small, and those are the 2 days that they specifically meet. And at least in my area, I can go to a Sunni masjid almost any time of the day, even almost any time of the night, depending on the masjid. And typically it's open, or I have a code that I can use to get in. But this masjid is very specific, so Thursday and Friday. And so I agreed to come on a Thursday night, and on Thursday nights they do what's called Maghribain, and that's where they combine their Maghrib and their Isha prayer together. And when I came in, there was a young man there who greeted me openly, and he was like kind of surprised. Apparently Sunnis dress very differently. I didn't realize that. But I told him like where I'm from and the masjid that I typically go to, and he was like, oh, this other brother, he comes to our masjid from that area too. You might know him. I'm like, well, unfortunately, I don't know a lot of Muslims, so I might not know him. And he came in the door literally as I was saying that, and he was like, oh, here's the guy. And it turns out that I pray with this kid's father at a Sunni masjid almost all the time. And we had to talk about that. And what's really crazy is 3 days before, I was at a janazah, and he was at the janazah, and we gave salams to each other, not even knowing that in a few days we're going to meet together at a Shia masjid. And so the brother is really cool. He's a cool brother, and he's kind of like asking me why I'm interested in Shia and what do I know about Shia. And apparently I knew a great deal, enough for him to understand where my mind was at. And they were like, well, you should definitely pray with us. If you want to, you can pray however you want. They didn't like say that I had to pray their way. They didn't say, oh, you have to grab a turba, or you have to keep your hands on your side, or any of that stuff. And then once the prayer was done, they do what's called dua kamal. And it's like there's one person who's reciting this dua, and then after that they have someone come and speak for a little bit about a specific topic. Typically it's someone from the Ahlul Bayt, or someone related to a story about the family of the Prophet and stuff. And after that we eat, and every time afterward there's always food and stuff, and they're always talking about like basically the same thing a Sunni person would talk about. I felt like there's no real difference besides like the imamate, like the claim to imamate, and the fact that they hold the Ahlul Bayt in such a high regard that sometimes they're ascribing divinity to them. And I don't believe in that. Like, I don't think that we should do that, because, you know, lam yalid wa lam yulad, you know. But aside from that, I think like I think that there's a need for people to learn why there was a split. There's a need for people to learn like also that like we need each other, you know, like we need unity. Like I don't think that in America anyway we can really afford to like point fingers and be like, oh Shia, oh Sunni, and that type of stuff, because nobody sees us that way. They all see us as one group. Muslim. We're all Muslims to them, you know. And they welcome my son with open arms. I think the weirdest, back to like the clothing thing, the weirdest situation I had in the Shia masjid was with a young kid. He came up to me and he was like, "Are you from Saudi?" And I was like, "Huh?" He's like, "Well, you have a Sunni beard and a Sunni hat. You must be from Saudi." And he ran away. And then his dad was like, "Oh, I'm sorry about him." I was like, "It's okay." He's like, "Well, where are you from?" I was like, "Oh, I'm from like Rhode Island down the way, you know, a few exits past, because we're in Massachusetts at that masjid." I was like, "I'm just like a few exits past down into Rhode Island." He's like, "Oh." I get that a lot though. People will ask me and my son, they say, "Where are you from?" And I'll be like, "Oh, I'm from Rhode Island." And they're like, "No, where are you from?" And then I guess when they hear my accent, they realize that I am actually from Rhode Island, you know. But I think they're caught off guard because there's not many people like my son and I in the masjids that we go to. Like typically it's people from other countries or people that are born Muslim, but they're not light-skinned, you know.
Yeah.
So we often get that, and it never really bothers me. I don't feel like they're being like racist by asking me that question. I think it's mostly they're surprised and they like kind of think it's like cute or whatever that we're there, and they're like happy that we're a part of the family. You know, they're like, "Oh, this is cool. We have allies." You know, like yep, we're all family. You know, and everybody always greets us with open arms. Like I've never been in a masjid where I felt like I wasn't welcome. I never felt that ever.